Hola, hola, hola. Hello, 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 sexy people. Hey, TikTok. Hello, LinkedIn. Hello, X. Hello, Facebook. Oh, let me get my people straight on Insta. I done forgot all about those folks over there. And I got to give them some love. What's up, beautiful people? Hi. What's up, TikTok? It's good to see y'all coming up in here. I appreciate everybody for joining me for another episode of Nights with Nikki. I appreciate each and every one of you amazing people for coming up in here. Hello, I see you, Nicole. I see you, Queen. I see y'all in here. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank you guys for bopping in. Can y'all hear me okay? I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm gonna turn our jam up just a little bit. I'm gonna turn our jam up just a little bit because you know it's nice with Nikki, y'all. And this is for the grown and sexy people to come on up in here and have yourselves a good old time. I am so grateful. I know there are so many places that you guys can hang out. I know there are a ton of places here on YouTube and on Facebook and on Instagram and on TikTok. I know there are lots of places for y'all to hang out. And I'm just super duper grateful that you guys took the time to come and hang out with me. So y'all, I've been doing a real good job of like educating myself and learning what I need to be doing as a streamer, right? Because this conversation about streaming is just a really big conversation here these days. Hi, I see everybody coming in here. Hello, finally it's me. Yes, ma'am. I met you in 2008 with Manuel Seal. Oh my God, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Welcome, 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 beautiful people. Welcome to Nights with Nikki. If this is your first time here, Nights with Nikki is just a platform where we recap hot topics, all the interesting things that are happening out here in these entertainment and media streets. And it's a lot going on, I must say. If I do say so myself, it's a little scary out here. We try to offer a slightly objective perspective on things, you guys. So, you know, I know that a lot of times we just want to go in and let have and just express how we really feeling. Tell them how you really feel, Craig. But we try here. I've been practicing mindfulness and just being present. You know what I mean? And that's something that is very new for me because I'm a Detroit girl through and through, right? I'm not even gonna hold you up. Detroit through and through. So for me, I've just grown up in households and been around women my whole life that just say what the hell they got to say. And I've just learned over the years that sometimes it serves me well. Sometimes, you know, it most of the time, you know, I feel like as long as you're trying to be honest and keep it real, it should ultimately serve you well. But it's interesting because I was thinking about the Mike Epps situation and how he went back and had to like apologize for the comments that he made about Nicki Minaj. Sometimes you just be in the heat of the moment and in passion and you just, you know, talk a little too much, say a little too much, and you gotta walk it back. So we try to do as little walking back as we can on this show. So I just want to welcome everybody. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Like I said, I'm going to be consistent with this, whether there is one person on here or 1,000 people on here. I'm going to be very, very consistent. Okay. DJ Sundown, thank you for asking me that question. How are you doing? I appreciate that. Thank you for asking me that question. How am I doing? It's been so long since I've actually been asked that question recently, actually. Um, I'm doing well. All things considered, you know, when you really look around, sometimes when you're in the midst of your stuff, right? Sometimes when you're in the midst of your junk. Um, and you know, not to discount the very serious things that many of us go through as junk, but sometimes when we're in our own space, we forget how blessed we are. We forget how fortunate we are. We are so busy counting the L's that we forget, to really lean into the W's, And I just feel like there's always something to be grateful for, right? I just feel like if God woke you up to live to fight another day, no matter how difficult things may seem, in the moment. I see y'all TikTok, thank y'all. And I see all of y'all too. But no matter how difficult things may be in the moment, if God gives you the grace and the blessing to wake up and to live to fight another day, I think it's worth it to say that you are good. I think it is the truth to say that you're good, right? So I'm good. I'm very good. I always get asked about my red lip. I'm gonna have to ask this sister for some sponsorship, especially when we start blowing up. And I always keep it right beside me so y'all know that I'm telling you the truth. This is a Detroit brand through and through. What color are we wearing today? Hold on. Let me put my stunners on. Hold on. I can't even see because of the way the light is hitting. Okay. Oh, this is quite appropriate. So this is the Lip Bar, Melissa Butler. This is from the group of sisters. I don't know if y'all familiar, but they were on Shark Tank. And Shark Tank was like, basically passed on their amazing idea. And these ladies went on to prove that it was definitely indeed a gold mine. So Lip Bar is a Detroit brand, and this color is Boss, Bawse, Lady, Boss Lady. All right, so shout out to the Lip Bar. Hardcore Detroit's versus everybody. Speaking of Detroit versus everybody, you guys, I did not get all of my images to put up during the broadcast. I'm really mad about that because I like to have my images up there, but and I'm actually definitely tonight I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet because I have a couple things I need to take care of. But I promise you guys I will be consistent and I will show up. So I'm going to be consistent and I'm going to show up. So my folks that are watching on my other platforms on TikTok over here, Insta, you guys don't have to worry about not being able to see the graphics because tonight I did not have a chance to preset the graphics. So I'm just going to share these really fantastic stories. So speaking about Detroit, y'all, hold on. I got to get up in here. Hold on. What are you guys up to? How are y'all doing? I hope you guys are all right. I hope y'all better than all right. I hope y'all doing good. How your mama doing? I mean, really? Okay, hold up. I'm trying to find. Speaking of mamas, I feel like mine right now. Trying to find my stories, guys. Trying to find my stories. So, speaking of Detroit, I am a hardcore. Hold on, I just got to put it in here because it's all over the news. It's all over the news. Hold on. Hold on, guys. It's all over the news, so all I got to do is pull it up. Okay, so I'm super proud of this and super excited to share it. Our brother Jalen Rose, you guys, Jalen Rose is really amazing brother. He's from Detroit. He, like me, Detroit through and through, all day, every day. Jalen Rose has the Jalen Rose Academy. He has a charter school which is doing really well to help educate and inspire our youth in so many different ways. Excuse me, I should have asked TikTok. Can you guys hear me okay? Excuse me. TikTok, give me some hearts if y'all can hear me all right. I'm assuming, excuse me, y'all, everybody else can. Look, I didn't. Okay, perfect. That sounds good. I didn't even take the time to put my water in my Stanley cup. It's just been one of them days. But anyway, really big news. Jalen Rose and Tom, I want to say Gores, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. They partnered to launch a Detroit-based multimedia platform, Same Page Entertainment. Gore, founder and CEO of Platinum Equity and owner of Detroit Pistons. That's some baller shot caller type stuff. The owner, okay, Jalen, owner of Detroit Pistons, backs longtime community partner and NBA legend and media personality Jalen Rose in a new venture. The multimedia company focuses on Detroit, Michigan, while building a global content platform for creative talent to develop projects. And they just announced this today, the 12th. NBA legend, Fab Five member, media personality, and philanthropist Jalen Rose has partnered with Tom Gore, chairman and founder of the Platinum Equity, owner of the Detroit Pistons, to launch Same Page Entertainment. a Detroit-based multimedia production company. Rose, a Detroit native and University of Michigan Wolverine, and Gore, a Flint native and Michigan State Spartan, founded the company to create content that sparks cross-cultural conversation and deeper appreciation for others at a critical time globally. Same Page Entertainment will focus on premium storytelling across scripted and unscripted film, television, podcast while imploring a buy Detroit for the world mentality. At launch, the company will focus on developing projects about the city and the state's rich culture, history, and legends while producing content with storytellers and creatives who share the same mission. Gore supports a wide range of community programs, philanthropic causes in Detroit. And at the end of the day, I'm always here for brothers and allies. Oh, excuse me. That ain't good. We got to raise that on up. Always here for brothers and allies to support the city and provide opportunities for our youth. So not just our youth, for creatives in general. Many of you probably saw I posted, this was actually from a live from probably about a week ago. Just some clips. Yes, I'm starting to post my clips too, y'all, because I've been told I need to make sure that I'm posting my live clips as well. Sorry, I need to be making sure I'm posting my live clips as well. So I posted a clip, and the clip basically was the quick and dirty, talking about. Yes, I do. I'm gonna talk about that. Thank you, boss by Misha. I do have my TV network. It is divine9tv.com. You guys trust me. Y'all gonna get a Divine 9 TV platform commercial tonight, and I'm gonna give you guys some more information about this platform as well. But again, I talked a little bit about how hard it is for artists today, based on the current streaming structure, to actually make a viable living, right? And it's interesting because a lot of people, first of all, let me stand corrected, because there was some mathematicians up in there. Hey Victoria, I see you. Thank you. I am feeling much better. Thank you very much. Hey J Rock, I see you too. Hey Brown Love 82. Thank you guys. Y'all had to do a little wash my hair and get, I had a whatever. Anyway, we ain't talking about the hair, but I had a whole like health beauty day today, and instead of curling my shit up and putting sheen on it and whatnot, I just decided to go naturally curly, so with my little Superman curls. So there it is. Shamaria from Black, that's one of my stories. Don't give my stories up. Oh my god, I'm so mad, you guys. I'm so disgusted that I did not pull the clips and the images so I can drop them into today's show. But I'm getting into all of that. Yes, we're going to talk about Shamaria from the group Black and what she's doing, her pivot, which is so freaking inspiring. So many good things to talk about. But real quick, I want to get back and kind of land on this. Somebody problem. Oh, no. Okay, I read the wrong thing. Your clips are how I learned about this channel and subscribed. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate you. So I just want to say this. The clip that I posted today, which was a clip from my YouTube channel, yeah, wasn't to expose, right? Because some folks, it's kind of, you have to be considerate of the fact that some people might not want y'all to know how little they pay artists through these streaming platforms. You feel me? Some people may want you to still believe in the illusion, right? The smoke and the mirrors and the vapor of it all. But I feel like it's very important for those of us who are transparent and who do care about our youth and do want to ring the alarm and let artists know, yeah, it is kind of highway robbery when you really think about it. It is very, very digital slavery like, right? The fact that you have to do between 1,250,000 to 1.5 million in streams every single month in order to make $5,000, right? And give or take a dollar or two. But at the end of the day, I think you guys get big picture. To be in a situation as a legacy artist or a well-known legendary performer, and to not really be able to rely on the music that you created that is generating a ton of revenue, for people who had nothing to do with creating it, who had nothing to do with the creative process of making the music, right? And it's not all just about the creative process. As many of you know, I'm a new founder of a new technology company, divine9tv.com. Please, you guys, after this live, please do me the kind favor of not just following divine9tv.com, which is our streaming platform, but please also follow. Dang, I see y'all TikTok. Come on in this building. Please do me a favor and also follow Divine 9 TV YouTube's channel, the YouTube channel, because it's interesting. Kind of all over the place, but I was watching the Netflix hearing, and Ted Cruz had a lot to say to the CEO of Netflix. But what resonated with me and really stood out, right? For those of you who don't, let me try to find this thing. Okay, by the time I try to find it, I could probably explain it faster. So, quick and dirty, and I'm paraphrasing. And the reason I like to play the clips is I would like for you to hear it from the horse's mouth, no pun intended. But the CEO of Netflix was being grilled basically on Capitol Hill because Netflix is in the process of doing a huge merger, right? When I say huge, we're talking allegedly, because I ain't seen the paperwork and I wasn't there, but what I've seen in the headlines. Um, HBO Max and just, you know, Warner, just a really big deal, right? Really, really big deal. I'm going to talk a little bit about Mr. Ryan Coogler, who I adore, and his perspective on this merger. But, you know, he's being grilled, and Ted Cruz had a lot to say. And one of the things that stood out for me is that the CEO of Netflix was like, listen, um, the question was whether or not, first thing is, he was talking about how YouTube, which is why I'm fully committing myself, not just YouTube, TikTok, Insta, LinkedIn, all the various platforms and whatnot. Um, yes, and TikTok, please do me a favor, give me plenty of likes, please. But YouTube is the number one streaming platform in the world. And he said YouTube is not just cat videos anymore. YouTube is a full on television network. It is a full on platform. There are people out here in these, and y'all, I don't have to tell y'all as you happen upon my little, you know, fledgling, you know, baby channel. People are out here doing really quite well on YouTube. In fact, I believe that it is Candace Owens is the number one podcaster in the world right now. That sister's getting 1,000,000+ views every night, every time she goes up. It is phenomenal. I have not always agreed with Candace Owens and her perspective on things, but there is something truly powerful about a Black woman having a platform to speak her truth and her perspective. And what I've noticed, and I don't know if it's motherhood, I don't know if it is just what we're all starting to see out here in terms of people. Please hit like, you guys. I know y'all get tired of us saying that, but this is how more people know about this video. So periodically, I got to step out of the conversation and remind you guys to give me plenty of hearts on TikTok. The more hearts you give me, the more likes you give me, the more shares that you give me, the more these videos go out to the people, and the more I can convince as many of y'all as possible. Repost all that shit. Do all of it, because this is grown ass people over here talking real shit about everything. Oh, and that's the other thing I have to say, because there are probably people who have started listening who are new. We cuss. I be trying to give you the sugar honey iced tea, and I don't give a flubbing of it all, but sometimes it just slips out, especially when I'm on one and God is in my heart. It's like the opposite of well, not the opposite of the Holy Ghost. It's like the Holy Ghost without the Holy Ghost on your tongue. And, you know, it's the Detroit in me. So we do use language that might be offensive to some people. And, you know, I just want to give you fair warning, right? Like a little trigger warning. Because sometimes this motherfucker can be off the chain, right? But anyway, hearing him talk about the impact of streaming and the impact of YouTube, and that this is, in fact, the future. Oscars just did a deal with YouTube to get their thing popping. You understand what I'm saying? This is not just some old, like, oh, she got a YouTube channel. No, everybody is focused, or should be focused, on building that, right? But I want to go a step further. and continue the conversation about the video that thankfully, as I'm learning tonight, brought some of you to my channel and inspired you to subscribe. There's a whole rabbit hole full of things that you can go and see that I've posted in the past. And it's interesting because I was like, should I clean up my channel? Should I take some of my car rants about P-Valley out? And then I was like, you know what? No. Because that was a part of my journey. And there may be someone entering a similar period in their life, right? Who need to sort of have a perspective. And that is all it is, which is very important for everyone to realize here on this here Worth TV YouTube channel. It's all about perspective. And everybody got one. And we believe that there's a way for you to respect people's perspectives, even if you don't agree with them. So just watching this hearing and seeing the power of the media and the power of the press, and that was what this whole thing was about. Because Congress is involved, because now they have to determine whether or not Netflix, having Warner Brothers and Netflix and HBO and all of their assets and all of their IP, whether or not that gives them an advantage when it comes to agendas and whatnot. And he had a brilliant answer. His response was, and go please, by all means, if you can and you care about media, especially if you're a new creator and you're trying to figure out how to navigate this space, because creator is a new buzzword, but it is also, the creator economy is a very new and very viable industry and economy for you to participate in once you learn how the shit really works. You understand? So Brian Sampson mentioned it sounds like a monopoly. I think that's what they're concerned about, this thing becoming a monopoly. But let's sit in this for a minute. And I'm definitely gonna talk some code word here and there, honey, because some of these platforms that I'm going to be discussing are owned by, and we don't own enough shit to really be talking too heavy yet. But anyway, if you think about it, BET and TikTok and Paramount and those platforms are owned by a family, a conglomerate. You know what I mean? I think there are 5 people who own everything in the world any way. You know what I mean? I think the bigger issue is, right? If Paramount, which is I think the other company that is allegedly bidding for this opportunity to get Warner and HBO, if they get it, do your research, find out who they are and who they know and who they dealing with. The TIKTOK owners. So no matter where you turn, baby, you're going to be matrixing. You're going to be trying to figure that shit out. So you might as well consider that Netflix gave the Obamas a nice deal to tell some really interesting stories. I think Tyler has a deal over at Netflix. I see a lot of Black women lead and diversity opportunities at Netflix. Shout out to Nicole Avant, who is married to the CEO of Netflix, who's a very pro, in community empowerment. I mean, it's Clarence Avant's daughter, Alex Avant's sister. You know what I'm saying? Her mom was an amazing. Forgive me for leaving her out of the conversation. So when you start thinking about those platforms that are I believe allegedly that on their board of directors, they've got some folks that I want to say maybe even Susan Rice and some folks, what I'm saying? So there's some diversity at every level there in that Netflix situation. So then that says to me that there may be some diversity in terms of opportunities for creatives over there. But this is really interesting, and I don't know how true this is, but I'm finna tell y'all something. And while I'm pulling this up to tell y'all, hold on. While I'm pulling this up to tell y'all, I need y'all to do me a favor and give me hearts and likes. And much of what we're talking about, you guys can pull it up and Google it for yourself. But I'm just hold on, where is it? And I hold on, Netflix merger. Okay. Disclaimer, because I love Ryan Coogler, so I definitely don't want to be misquoting anything. And these days, honey, so much shit is questionable in terms of headlines and what somebody said. So if you weren't in the room and they didn't say it, I just feel like in general, you need to issue a disclaimer. So this is all alleged. But as it relates to this merger, our dear brother Ryan Coogler, allegedly, his response, he called the potential studio consolidation not ideal, which I found very interesting, right? Sinners is obviously doing very, very well. They're leading in the Oscars. I think they're going to take home a ton of great things, as they should. But allegedly here, and this information comes from the Black Script, which I love, and I think that they do a great job of keeping us aware of what's going on. But this is something I want y'all to keep in mind. I'm getting to the Ryan Coogler's response to this. This is something I want you guys to really consider. Black is a buzzword too. So there are a lot of companies, a lot of platforms, a lot of spaces out here. Please hit like, please give me hearts, please repost, please share. There are a lot of spaces out here that use the cover of Black women's this and Black's that and Black love of the Black people, of the power to the people, and they're owned, operated, and controlled by non-Black people. Okay? BET, as much as I love y'all, Bob Johnson and team ain't owned BET in a long time. Same people own BET on TikTok, allegedly, from what I heard. And it ain't never really been all this. All this. It's, But it's cool because, again, don't take what I'm saying when I speak the truth about what certain circumstances and situations is as me being hostile or, divisive or whatever, right? It's just factual. We don't really own enough at all. And a lot of people leverage that word, Black this, Black that. I mean, look at all the Black hair care brands that do really, really well when they're just in the community selling to us, right? And but it's word of mouth and packing they shit out of their boxes in their own house and whatnot. And then when they going ahead and do the deal with the big boys, all of a sudden they be skipping on them ingredients, and then all of a sudden, so then what you gonna do? Buy Pantene because that formula is consistent. Anyway, let's get into Ryan Coogler because I'll already be ruffling enough feathers, and I don't have a lot of time to be on this tonight because I have a lot of work that I have to do. Anyway, director Ryan Coogler described further studio consolidation as not ideal when asked about the possibility of Warner Brothers being sold to Netflix, raising concerns about the long-term impact on jobs and creative opportunities in Hollywood. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Coogler said that his primary concern centers on the employment across the industry, from union crews to independent filmmakers, to whose projects rely on multiple buyers competing in the marketplace. Excuse me. What I'm going to always be advocating for is jobs, Coogler said. Sounds about right. He said, noting the fewer major studios could mean fewer opportunities for workers across departments. These remarks came during a moment of heightened visibility for Coogler. His latest film, Sinners, leads this year's Academy Award nominations, earning recognition across major and technical categories. The film's success has placed Coogler in the forefront of both creative and industry conversations, and Hollywood continues to navigate structural and economic shifts. The possibility of a Warner Brothers Netflix deal could mark another significant step in the ongoing consolidation of media companies, a trend that has accelerated over the past decade as streaming platforms expand their influence. Industry analysts have long debated whether consolidation strengthens global distribution models or limits competition in greenlighting original projects. Coogler did not directly criticize any specific company, important to note, but emphasized the importance of maintaining a healthy ecosystem for filmmakers and crews. His comments reflect broader discussions within Hollywood about balancing corporate growth with creative sustainability, particularly at a time when theatrical distribution, streaming, economics, and awards recognition increasingly intersect. Let's talk about that for a minute, right quick. So here's the thing, right? We get really excited when award show season comes along, right? And there are some shows and some films and some projects that hands down you'd be like, of course they're going to sweep at the Oscars. Of course they, deserve all the awards. When you look at the Grammys, there are artists where you're like, oh, I know she getting a Grammy for that album, right? And I've been in the rooms where I don't think I'm supposed to say this. Let me figure out a way around it. I'm not going to say this. If I got to think about it too long, I should not say it. But just know that the process of being awarded at these award shows and labeled that one isn't, and many of you probably already know this, so it ain't like I'm telling y'all something y'all don't know, but I could say, because I've been in the room, I'd be like, if I wasn't there, then I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, and But I know that it's not always just about gift and talent and quality and body of work. Just like in any situation, you know what I mean? Just like we encounter in the workplace in corporate America. We know we do shit better than most people. And that's not about being, trying to divide folks. But we're just gifted in certain ways, right? Sorry, y'all. I know I should have a straw in my cup, but I ain't got one. Sorry. We're better at sports. We are better at entertainment and talent. Sorry, not sorry. We are better at cooking, hair and makeup. No, I'm just saying. We just we just be excelling. And when it comes to caring about communities and caring about people and looking out for everybody else, we do that shit better too. I don't care. That's why everybody asks for their mama or their grandma or whatever. We have the sauce. And when you look at how the system, entertainment, media, rewards the gifts that Black people give so freely, and by freely I mean literally, probably more than free than figuratively, because they learned a long time ago the value of our art and the value of what we do really well, whether it's sports, athletes, whatever. They're running their companies, coming up with that. Give me a break. I was having this conversation recently. I'm so excited about the Detroit Housewives League. If you guys have not had a chance to take a look at the trailer for the Detroit Housewives League, the documentary micro drama doc is coming March 23rd on divine9tv.com. So after this live, please do yourself a favor and go over to divine9tv.com, buy, boost, and build, baby. But we historically have been kept out of the equitable financial rewards connected to the sharing of our gifts, right? And time over for that. Time out for that. We ain't finna do it no more. It's over. And I say that because now we're going to do a little pivot. Let me see. Yeah, because I can't be on here too long, y'all. I I got work to do. Please hit like, please hit share, please hit subscribe because I'm showing up to this job too tonight. But um technology. Technology, in my opinion, is starting to level the playing field. And people I think want you to believe that AI and technology is the devil. But I want us to really be slow to react to that with an amen corner. And yeah, it is, and I can't, right? Because part of what it has been able to do, and there are absolutely, I'm sure, going to be setbacks and drawbacks and things that make you go, things that make you go, ooh, 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 right? Thank y'all for the support on TikTok. I appreciate it. But I said this recently to some folks that I was talking to. And what I explained to them was I was sitting in a room. There was recently an announcement made. If you're not familiar with this king, then you should be. There are a lot of very successful Black and brown people out here in the universe that many of us don't know and never see because most of them don't want to be bothered and they don't want you in their business. But one in particular that I had a great, huge blessing and honor to sit across from was a man who is arguably, and I don't know if it's so arguably now, especially with the recent announcement that was made, but the wealthiest Black man in America, who, in my opinion, is probably about to be one of the wealthiest men in America. But he is indeed, everything I've read, is the wealthiest Black man in America. So here I am, this chubby, big mouth girl from Detroit, having the blessing. Shout out to Harborview and the team that's doing some really Harborview Equity Partners and the folks that are doing some really amazing work over there. I was able to spend some time with them a few months ago at their conference. And I listened to this brother speak, and he has a technology company. And the way he acquired his company, I don't want to, mess his story up by paraphrasing too much and not really like breaking that shit down, but it was phenomenal to me. Like he did not have, all I'm going to say is if you think that you can't make $1 billion company happen because you don't have the money to do it right now, you are sadly mistaken. If you think that you cannot build a multi-billion-dollar company right now because you ain't got the bread in your pocket or you don't have the partnerships in place, you are sadly mistaken because there are not so many, quite a few that I've met. I'm blessed enough to have been in the presence of maybe 5 Black billionaires. They ain't gave me no money because that ain't what they do. Hopefully they inspire you to get your own. Well, that's a lot. But anyway, here I go on my tangent. What he said was he built his company against all odds, really with not a lot of resources, right? Company has, a ridiculous number. I think they're in the $30 billion in assets, right, in this technology space. And one thing that he said in this conversation was that you either learn technology and figure out a way to embrace it and use it, or you get left behind. You either learn it or you get left behind. And what I've learned as an independent company, and I don't have funding like that from anybody right now outside of angels and family partners and whatnot. But we're making it happen based on the fact that we know that this can work, and you have to continue to go forward, whether you have the funding in place right now or not, to get to that place, right? And technology has made it so that it is a lot easier for you to manage your workload. It is a lot easier if you are creative. And most of us are very, very creative. And you take the time and you learn it and you understand how to leverage it. You can get shit done that would a year ago would have been impossible. You understand? Listen to me, y'all. This ain't just about me streaming, to just be out here talking sideways. I need y'all to feel me on this. They're learning technology And we're learning technology in tandem at the same damn time. I got two phones, one for the plug and one for the load. They don't really know what the hell is every single day. These robots are becoming more, I'm sorry, technology and AI is becoming more intelligent. Y'all done heard about these little chats they setting up and this and that and the third, which is shocking even the best of them. Now, clearly there are AI prompt engineers and folks who know a whole lot more about the shit than we do. But the big companies, I'm talking specifically in the space of creatives and being able to leverage it to help articulate, right? Because a lot of times as creatives, another conversation I've been having recently, and this is linked to what I talked about tonight, or I'm sorry, what I posted last night about artists not getting paid. Um, you thought Google put everything at your fingertips? AI technology, literally, if you can figure it out, understanding how to break the code. I love Melinda Williams is from Soul Food, incredibly beautiful sister and actress and philanthropist. She started working on coding. I want to say she started around the pandemic during COVID, and she's doing some really amazing things, right? And I think it's very important for us to we run right, we run faster, jump higher, we make a mean oxtail and cabbage. Period. So if we can, and back to I made this analogy before, and hopefully it's not offensive to anybody, but when they were bringing us over on slave ships, our ancestors, right? When we were working in the cotton fields, it was our ability to communicate through music, through song. You understand what I'm saying? So art and creativity and storytelling, which is the big aha moment in here. Storytelling, the preservation of our history, and the ability to tell our stories and inspire future generations based on the incredible things that we have done. Our stories have been diluted for so many years. People don't understand how dope we are because, unfortunately, the machine that has been all powerful for so many years have muted our contributions because it is easier for them to control people who don't know how great they are. It's easier for them to control people who don't understand their power. It's easier for them to convince people that the women and some men, but mostly it's women, I ain't gonna hold y'all up, who speak up for the communities like the C. Dolores Tuckers, like the Harriet Tubmans, like the Detroit Housewives Leagues. Did y'all know? Y'all probably had no idea. And you'll learn more about this, which is why this movie is so important. The Michigan has a one and only HBCU. It's called Lewis College of Business. It's amazing. Black women sitting with JFK, negotiating economic empowerment. Those stories that we never get a chance to hear because we are so distracted by the shiny shit. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj is telling everybody to go vote for the SAVE Act. Pew pew. We are so caught up criticizing one another, judging one another. The name of the movie is The Detroit Housewives League. It'll be on Divine 9 TV. Documentary comes first. Get y'all into it, warm y'all up a little bit. Micro, vertical. And then, God willing, we're praying about it every day. We'll have the resources to do the full length feature. And I'm just going to put it out here in the universe because I believe that you should put things in the universe. And I know that people be like, shh, don't tell nobody your ideas. But it is what it is. You heard it here first. I would love for Regina King to direct this. I would love for Regina King to direct the full length feature of the Detroit Housewives League feature film. Period.com. I'm not going to tell y'all who my wish list is in terms of the cast, but to direct this thing, I'm just praying to God that God sends us Regina King, that she's got free time and that she's available and she's interested, because I just think that she's definitely that girl who can do it. But anyway, I mean, I'm just wishful thinking. Um, so all that to say, when you hear the head of Netflix saying YouTube is a real place, right? When you look and you see that you can't make money streaming in the entertainment industry as a musician, as an artist, what do you do? What do you do? I'll wait. What you do, Ike? I'm trying to help, Ike. You build your own infrastructure. You create your own opportunities. Now, a lot of people, when I posted earlier about what it takes in order to make money off of albums, right? And as an artist, a lot of people assume that I was saying that we should go back to selling CDs out of our trunk. That's not really realistic, right? I don't even know if there are a lot of places out here that are still making CDs like that. But what I can tell you, please hit like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for coming in. This is Nights with Nikki. I appreciate you. But what I can say is that, and this is a question, if your favorite artist released music on a platform and you had to go to that platform in order to buy that music and to download that music, would you guys do it, or are you so conditioned to believe that if it's not on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever? And then that's the thing. If you can get it, this is where it becomes a little wacky. If you can get it for free, and not just their music, but you can stream everybody's music for free for $9.99 a month or $10, whatever it costs. Would you patronize a new R&B artist releasing a new album on their own platform when you could just go get it over there? And that's the thing. It is a monopoly. That is the monopoly. That is you can't be like, I demand that I am paid reasonably for my gifts, because that is their platform. They set the rules, they set the payment terms, and the audience, access to the audience comes from them. Until you do the work of building your own. And building your own requires a tremendous amount of dedication. It means coming on YouTube nightly, talking to 5 people until it becomes 500, until that becomes 5,000, until that. Many of us don't want to do the work. We want to be, we're so consumed with wanting to look like we're winning, right? Wanting to give the illusion that it's working, that we will lose for the sake of looking like we're winning. Or we don't want to collaborate with one another because we want to be the ones to own and control it. See, that's the beautiful thing about what I'm building as a founder. I actually don't want to own and control the shit. I don't. And I don't. I want to have a place where I can just be as creative as I want to be. Make great music, make great films, make great art. I had to become, through the School of Hard Knocks, more aware of the business. Because really, most artists and creatives, we don't have no interest in that. We want the freedom to just focus on making great art. We don't want to be I guess I shouldn't speak for everybody. I don't want to be bothered with all of the business structure and the budgets and all of that. I just want to be able to lean into my creative space and because I'm really, really, really unfuckwittable when it comes to that. I'm really, really good at it. I got a track record to prove it. Now, all my shit gets stolen constantly because I didn't have the platform to just put it out and to share it, right? and had to go the traditional route of pitching story and getting it to people or whatever. But I really have a passion for creating things that I don't want to have to be bothered with counting beans. Somebody has a passion for structure and for business and, strategy. That ain't me. I have a passion for storytelling, a passion for sharing moments that entertain, uplift, and inspire people. And all that to say, part of the reason why it's so difficult for us to come together and build what Black people, brown people, melanated, Asian people, minorities, what we need, which we're becoming the majority. So they becoming a minority. That's why they snapping them out. But in order for us to be able to really come together and do that, we have to be willing to collaborate. We have to be willing to come together and set our egos aside and not be the one. It's okay if you're the two or the five. If you're establishing something that is going to be around for future generations. And let me say this real quick. I didn't get to a lot of the topics, and I'm getting close to the time that I got to get off of here. But this is very important. Oh, we're going to go there tomorrow because there's some topics that I definitely need to talk to you guys about in a continuation of this conversation. But let me tell you what happens. Thank you guys for sending roses. I appreciate you guys. Hey, sis, I appreciate you, Pam. Oh, we got to talk. Oh, we got to talk. Oh, for real, we got to talk. Matter of fact, I'm going to text you after this live. So the youth, the children, the future. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laugh. Listen. Whether we're talking about what's happening with these Epstein files and that congressional hearing that was just, oh my God, are you serious? Whether we are talking about this TPUSA situation, which is a whole nother situation, they understand the power of our youth. They understand exactly what the hell they're doing, which is why Nicki Minaj is now encouraging her followers to endorse that bill. We have got to get on it with our kids. We have got to understand how important the future is, how important the youth are to our future, right? You spend enough time in hospitals, yeah, as a caregiver, and I've spent my share. You see who these young nurses are, who these young aides are. When you think about technology, these kids are way more savvy with it than we are. Make sure your kids are learning technology. Make sure your kids, I mean, obviously they need people skills. Obviously they need, their educations in every way. Thank God for the teachers and the administrators who guide our children every day. But we have really got to take advantage of the playing field being leveled by technology and making sure our kids understand it. Now, I know that there are people, blasphemy. I want my child to open up a book. And that's awesome. And I agree. They should be able to open up a book and turn the pages and read something, and they should be able to handwriting and all of the above. But technology and streaming and AI is a future that is happening and coming in this country, whether we want to accept it or not. And our kids need to be ahead of the curve because we're already really good at mostly everything we attempt to do. And this is a real opportunity for us to lead the way. And when you look at whether it's John Hope Bryant, who's another billionaire investor who's investing in technology, and even the wealthiest Black man in the country, Mr. David Stewart, who mentioned the technology company they're starting and getting a better understanding of AI. It is so important that we understand the power of the tools that are in front of us, and we understand how to leverage them to do something other than dance and videos and teach our kids routines and do cute, funny stuff. We're all human, so we love to watch TikTok lives and videos that make us laugh and make us feel good and that are nostalgic and take us that back down memory lane, right? But we have to get serious about making sure that we understand that this new frontier, that is technology, that we have the ability to learn in tandem at the same damn time. You guys understand what I'm saying? They're not that far advanced. They have the resources to become more advanced in technology than we are. But them old ass white men don't know shit about technology neither. They got to hire these young kids who know more about it. And we need to make sure that we are actively involved in learning as well. Sometimes God will give us tools where we least expect them. And I'm not saying substitute your humanity for artificial intelligence. I'm saying we fed the machine anyway. It's getting all the information from the things that we're putting into it. Yeah? Make sure your kids know what's up. Stopping by to say hello. Congrats on the trademarks. Michelle is my sister. Your sister's badass. If you guys need trademarks, Michelle Miller, the Billionaire Agency. I'm sorry. She is amazing. She secures my trademarks and it means everything. Get your trademark secured. That's something that they did not teach us. And thank God for MC Light, who shared her trademark journey, introduced me to Michelle. Tell your sister I love her very much. Are you and Kelly good? Me and Kelly Price good? Yeah, we're good. I mean, I don't hold any grudges with Kelly. I think we need to have a conversation. I'd love to have a conversation with Kelly. Here's the thing, guys. If in this, still under an hour, thank you, Jesus. Here's the thing, guys. If in this world that we living in, with all the horrible things that are happening to these small children, and shout out to Cardi B. I don't know if y'all saw Cardi B's post, but she responded to, I want to say Homeland Security. Like, y'all talk about getting drugs out of the country. How about all those drugs that were allegedly used on the victims? I'm sorry if I was gulping real crazy and whatever, but anyway. How about that? Get him, Cardi. I love Cardi B. I do. I don't love WAP. So somebody like, yeah, but you were saying you didn't love WAP. I don't love WAP, but I love Cardi B. Period. And just let her know, Auntie not gonna lie about it. All right, guys. The whole point of this live tonight is to be consistent, to share honest thoughts, but to also remind our community that we are still a very important piece in this economic buying power puzzle. In fact, trillions of dollars in buying power we have. We just need to do like the Housewives League of Detroit was able to do. And let me just tell y'all, it started off as 50 women in the city of Detroit. 50, led by Fannie Peck, who was known as the pioneer of the credit union. I think there was only one other woman, Black woman, who had a bank before her, which was in like 19, I forget when, but she had a bank. And Fannie Peck, Detroit's finest, had a credit union. They decided when they realized that America, Detroit, Michigan, segregation, racism was not allowing their communities to thrive. Don't buy where you can't work. Buy from people who support the organization. Boost business to support into our communities. Build the communities back up. So often, those women have been left out of the conversation about how Black Bottom went from the Great Depression and poverty and destitute and broken to Paradise Valley with Duke Ellington and Billie Holiday and all these amazing, fantastic people. And of course, we tell the story about what ultimately happened to destroy that thriving community. But the one thing I can say works every single time, and no matter what decade, no matter what planet, is community, people coming together, bringing their valuable resources and gifts to the table, committing to share them and barter them amongst each other, building up the next person's business, buying Black owned, supporting Black owned, not talking about each other, not being jealous of one another, because it's like the Willie Lynch letter. Some people might need to go back and read that Willie Lynch letter again. Some people may have to go back and really get an understanding of how powerful division has been in our community for so many years. These reality shows that we watch and we're entertained by, these records that we listen to and dance to that we're entertained by, none of them are helping us move the needle when it comes to building generational wellness and generational wealth for our families. But us telling the truth about what this business and what this country has represented for many of us, and sharing and not gatekeeping, but sharing ways where we can grow and evolve and become something bigger and something better for our community, for our kids. Because at the end of the day, they're focused on their children winning. We're focused on flossing and flogging around each other and people seeing us winning. They don't give a shit. Baby, they driving Subarus and wearing Birkenstocks. They don't care. Take me through there, take me through there. They are not concerned about the bullshit. They are concerned about making sure that their children and the young people who are signing up by the millions to Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk's organization and all those places. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I know a lot of people have iced Candace Owens out of their conversation and don't want to really be bothered. But everybody deserves an opportunity to share when they've made mistakes and bad decisions and have information that they could share with people when they've had a change of heart about some of the things that they've done. And Owens, oh boy, did I. But as I listened to her reasoning behind it, and as I realized, and I'm not promoting her, because if you don't want to be bothered, I totally understand. Because at the end of the day, yeah, some folks, it's just like, no, the door is closed. I don't know what's going on, but my you guys am I getting a delay in my, hold on, I know what I think I'm seeing here. Hold on, guys. Just give your girl a second. We having a little technical difficulty over here because I think there's a delay happening. Hold on. Okay. We're going to go to Hardwire, which we should have been on the Hardwire anyway, y'all. Sorry. I had to go to Hardwire. Hopefully that fixes the problem I was just having on YouTube. I listen to Candace Owens because there's some valuable information in there. And just like in any situation, you kind of have to take what you can use and throw the rest of that shit away. Somebody said it ain't make no rhyme or reason behind Candace Owens. Candace Owens is a sellout. Has been indeed. However, thank you. Okay, it's good now. I don't know what that was all about. I'm on a higher wire. Thank you guys. However, as I've listened to some of I've been listening to some of her stuff. And here's the thing. This is what I did learn. I used to not watch FOX News because I was like, these motherfuckers, the most racist son of bitches on the planet. I'm not watching them. But sometimes you need to know what that person is thinking. Sometimes you need to watch the playbook unfold before your eyes. Sometimes you need to see who on there, who doing what, and who saying what. And the other part of it is, I remember, and I say this a lot, back in college, we would always have debates, right? You got to watch them to know the side. Exactly. Exactly. And the bottom line is she got 1 million people plus watching her every night. So I don't know that it's hurting her that those of us who are not supporters are not watching her. I don't know that that's the issue. Exactly. There you go, Ursula. Eat the meat and spit out the bones, period. When you start to listen to Candace Owens and see some of what she's saying, and I'll be like, damn, girl, you in danger. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, but I mean, truth tellers always, that's a risk that comes along with the job. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Sometimes that motherfucker won't come try to come get your ass. But you just protected and covered. And like my daddy always used to say, don't die with the truth in you. And boy, when I say Candace Owens is determined not to die with the truth in her, I just be watching it like. So anytime the world told you that you was going to lose your job or you were going to be demonetized or you was going to lose your platform if you said the words Charlie Kirk in a tone that they didn't want to hear it, and then you go and you see Candace Owens over here just, my sound is gone. My sound is gone. Can you guys hear me? My sound is off. Really? I don't know what to say, guys. I'm gonna have to. I guess that is the cue that I got to wrap this thing up because I ain't really had this many technical difficulties. Says my sound is off. I'm sorry. Sorry, it's out of sync. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. The UDA, perhaps. I have no idea. Your sound has been off the whole. My sound has been off the whole time. What? Okay. Anyway, that's my cue that I got to wrap this thing up. Tomorrow night, we'll make sure the sound is right. I don't know why, for some reason, you guys can't hear me and the sound is acting up, but I'll be back tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. Nights with Nikki. I'm not going to argue with the UDA on this here evening. You start talking about certain shit and turns into that. I want to encourage everyone, for those of you who can hear me, please go to divine9tv.com. Divine9tv.com. I'm gonna have my husband do some digging and we're gonna try to find out why we're having all of these technical difficulties. I feel like I'm going to have to get rid of the multi-streaming platform that I've been using for a few years because it just feels very. Anyway, all right, guys. Good night. I got work to do anyway. That's God just trying to tell me to get to this work I need to do. Please go to. I'm glad IG can hear me and a couple other platforms are saying that they can hear me just fine. I just hate that YouTube can't hear me. So it sucks. It is off sync. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all so much. I'll be back tomorrow night with Nights with Nikki. And be safe, be positive. One love, y'all. Have a good night. Peace.